Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Valkyrie. I'm, of course, Shae the Red with my amazing co-host, Cyborg Valkyrie. How you doing, Cy?
I'm doing great, feeling pretty judgy today, hence the judgy avatar I'm using. How are
Yes,
you doing,
clearly.
Shay?
I'm look. I wanted this cosplay way farther along than it is. However, I am not naked, so I got something done.
Well,
So there is at least that.
for anyone who watched Regen last night, you saw Shay
Oh
constructing parts of
gosh.
this cosplay,
Yep.
including groping the tits of her mannequin
Yep.
with the formed plastic over her.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun. And then I got to see the cat attacking Shay for several hours this afternoon while she
Oh my
finished.
gosh.
Uh,
I have hot
yeah.
glue, and it's like a really, really, really hot gorilla glue stick. And I'm putting it on. My cat jumps in my lap, like right as I was about to put something down. I was like, oh no, I don't know what to do. And like both my hands are completely full. Onyx is just snuggling up, doesn't even give a shit.
So
So,
stay tuned to Shay's Instagram for those pictures because I
yeah,
have a
those pictures
feeling
are
that
going to
they're
be
going to be a
hitting.
treat.
They are ridiculous.
That's when you pull your hands away from your cat and there's like hair on your
Yeah,
fingertip.
I was waiting for me to just like be stuck to him for the afternoon.
Oh, speaking of fur flying, once you see the cosplay, remind me of that because there's a funny story about Shay trying to put this cosplay together that
You're
I'm
so
not going to
mean.
spoil yet.
You're so mean.
So, Art, how you
So
doing?
I was just gonna say, it
Good, good, yeah. It feels like it's been forever since I talked to you guys.
really has though.
That's just because you're
Like
so hard to reach.
that is true. That is true. No, it
Well,
has
I've had a
been.
hell of a couple months, so I do apologize. The campaign has been, I think I had to push it back twice. It's because
Hmm.
life happens, and so I'm really happy that we even got it launched. With all the obstacles that we've had in our way.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like I was
These things
bummed.
happen, and you
I
always come through, Art. So people are
right.
willing.
I was bummed not because we weren't getting you on. I was bummed because you were like, "Hey, life is being a real douchebag," and I was like, "No, not to Art. Like, not to Art and Pam. Like, come on, be nice. Like, I love these guys."
Well, at least you know life doesn't discriminate, right?
No,
That is true.
yeah, it doesn't. I
It'll
feel
screw
you.
anybody over.
Accurate.
That,
Uh,
that that also makes it really hard to keep preaching karma because if life will just fuck everybody over, it's like where's the
yeah.
justice? Come on now.
There's
It,
the karma thing. And then there's this book that we used to read, our daughter Amanda, and it was called It Could Have Been Worse, right? And so it's this little mouse and it's doing things, and then this thing goes bad. The mouse is trying to do something, but there's always like this cat or some kind of like catastrophic thing that's just outside of its peripheral that would have killed it, right? So then the mouse is like, oh, this sucks, life is horrible, but then doesn't realize that all along, this thing that happened made it where it wasn't going to get killed, right? So it was a
mhm.
bad thing that happened, but the greater good was served that the cat somehow didn't reach its destination and kill the mouse. So I always think of that. So there's karma, but then I always think like it could have been worse. So
Yes.
maybe these are a series of things that prevented some bigger thing from happening.
Yeah,
You never know about
absolutely.
these. Yeah.
No, that's definitely how I've been feeling because I feel like this last half of this year has been really rough for a lot of people. There's been so many people that have been hit with so many ridiculous things, and lots of people going in for surgeries and people um, finding cancer issues and financial issues and family members. Just like so much has been happening, and so every day that you're up, you're still moving. Like, you know what? That's a damn good day. We're gonna
Exactly.
take that as what it is. It's a good day.
Yeah. That's
All
what I'm
right.
trying to hold on to, Shay. That's what's keeping
Yeah.
me, sane. And there was one day I just asked Emma. I was at my wit's end, and so I was just like, I'm not gonna just scream and destroy the house. I'm just gonna I just shut down. I just completely
Yeah.
just shut down and kind of became, what is that, catatonic?
Yeah.
You know, where I was just like low energy guy, just doing exactly what I needed to get by. And then it was so bad. And the thing is, like with the computer and certain things that have been happening is I never realized how important or how much I use these things until I didn't have them. You know what I mean? So there's like this whole trickle down that I'm still experiencing because I don't have my Facebook and I don't have my Instagram. There's family members. I don't even have their phone number anymore. We would just message through Facebook. You know what I mean? And all this stuff. And now I don't have that. So now I'm trying to, through other loved ones and stuff, trying to reconnect with everybody and go, okay, well, I don't have this anymore. Here's my email. Contact me through email or whatever.
Art, do you know how hard it is to resist trying to troubleshoot these with you right now?
You're a fixer.
I am.
Oh my gosh, Cyborg is the biggest fixer ever. If you if you don't want somebody to help fix a problem, do not tell Cyborg that you have a problem.
IT tech support and customer service for over 25 years, so it's trying to crawl out of me right now. So rather than do that, let's do the cosplay reveal. And
yes.
All right, so here we go. You ready, Shae?
Drum roll.
All right, here we go.
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red
Has now become
Titties.
awesome.
Oh, wow, you're Juju. That's awesome.
So, for people that are going to be like, where's her feathers? Where's her arm wrap? Listen, okay? We did a lot in a very short amount of time, and it is all coming because this top took every bit of brain power to get where it would do this and not, like, I can put my arms and it's still without exposing me, and that took a lot of time. So,
And let me just say, in all fairness, you have everything you need to complete this cosplay. It's just a matter of time. Like all the raw ingredients, I've seen them downstairs.
I am so excited because so for people who don't know, Joann's is having like their freaking Black Friday sale. I spent so much, but this is going to be one of my most epic cosplays ever. It's going to be complete. I am going to really get confident and then take it to a con because you didn't give her much on the bottom there, sir. I will be modifying it. I did notice that it looks like she doesn't have anything in the back half of this. There will be something in the back half of Shae's because
there is something, but it's kind of butt cracky, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'll just say the original drawing, she did have a back half. But
okay.
I'm kind of like one of those like asymmetrical design guys. Like if I can get an asymmetrical idea in there, I'll do it. And that was that. And then I didn't realize how many back shots I ended up incorporated in the book just because of that. It just kind of happened. I don't know how.
I will say she's freaking gorgeous, and I was like, I'm gonna cosplay her, and then I started making the cosplay, and I went, I'm gonna have to get so much more confident before I do this out in public because
Shae, I was gonna say we'll be very true to what Art has done for her ass. We'll just really hit squats in between now and then.
Look, it's not even that. It's literally about the if I actually wore it the way she would have to be wearing it, if a light breeze happened, I'd be going to jail.
Well, let's look at this. I mean, it's kind of looking that's kind of Slave Leia. I mean, you could do that.
Well, but Slave Leia had something in the back too, so I will be adding a piece to
just
the
to
back.
add a little drape in the back, just like she has in the front.
Yes, and there'll be a little
tiny.
There'll be like a little panty that'll be built into that, but I do plan on having it go like the high cut hip belt everything. So
it's gonna be like a tri-folded bathroom towel. That's all you get.
It's gonna be terrifying, but it's gonna be amazing. And
you're gonna do the Bride Frankenstein wrap up the
arm? I have everything for it. I just ran out of time, and I was like, I even have medical bandages, and I was like, those are my backup, and I went, I can't find them. So I was like, of course I can't find them. Why would I find them? That would be far too easy. But I have the fur, I've got the feathers, I've got 100 different kinds of beads. We've got all of the stuff for the belts, the little, like, just everything. It's gonna be amazing, Art, I promise. And when it is, I will make sure that we get a bunch of pictures done and we send them.
Yes,
I'll post them up. I'll put them on the black and white, update page. I'll
Heck
show
yeah.
them off for sure. Yeah, and the thing is, the character, like, you've got all the structure, right? All the structured pieces are in. So, but the character does rely a lot on the ornate details, the beads and the baubles and all that stuff. And so, once you get that, and just do me a big favor, because, like, there's all kinds of weird influences there. Like I said, the Bride of Frankenstein, but there's also like this Kirby Big Barda thing. Those gold discs.
Oh, I saw them. I actually found the perfect like small discs to go around that I'm going to paint the right color, and then I'm going to make the bigger one.
Yeah.
I paid attention to it, and I was like, that has to happen. So don't.
Yes.
I'm going to make it as accurate to your pinup as I possibly can without making me so uncomfortable that I would never actually wear it to a con.
Okay, I want to ask you guys and ask your chat, and we'll do a round robin and see, because there's Ethan Van Sciver saw the design, he loved it. He said, "Is it a mask or is that her face?"
Ooh.
Now I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking it looks pretty cool as a mask. So, it could be, just like a half. Well, I guess that'd be like 2/3 of a mask, like so her lower jaw. So where that black trim is right there, that would be the end of the mask.
Right.
Yeah. And so like this mask isn't done. I planned on adding in that like black bottom part, because even if it was just going to be like shadow or something, I feel like it would look really cool to have that stark contrast. But I like the idea of it being a mask, because while she looks normal on like the chin and jaw area, in my head, it's like if she takes this mask off, you have no idea what's under.
Right.
Like,
so
it could still be something horrifying.
Based on the coloration,
she's gorgeous. She's gonna be gorgeous. There are some shots of her without, but I was trying to think, like, well, I like characters that do the transformation, So she starts using the magic or the supernatural stuff, and then she transforms. So I was thinking, well, there could be that, but I really do think it's more of a mask. It's like it's a mask that just kind of snaps in place, kind of thing. And so then the rest is, it's a costume. But it's weird when you design these things or you come up with these ideas, because then you also have to think of, like, all right, how do they transform into this, right? Because there's the Superman thing. He runs into the phone booth, and then he comes out as Superman. Clark Kent runs in, Superman comes out.
Right.
So like is Juju? Does she have like a big bag, of her change, her clothes, and then when she wants to, then she just kind of pulls the wig out. This whole cosplay
based on what I see in the pinup, the way that it goes in my mind is a whole lot of that like kind of Kirby Crackle black with a whole bunch of these just acid green tendrils that would basically just swirl around from the bottom of her feet and go all the way up, and this is what comes out.
Okay, so there is kind of a supernatural thing, but it's a practical application. So it could just manifest, right? Since it's magic.
Yeah.
But it's go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, Art, based on the coloring and the kind of glint that it gets near the forehead and stuff, is that supposed to be metallic?
Yeah, she's kind of got like a tiara or like kind of crownish kind of thing. So I was just pulling from everything, where you have what is his name? You have Thor. What is Thor's brother's name?
Loki.
Yeah, so you got this Loki kind of thing going. There, and then you have the, I like that band Ghost, where and the singer's got that kind of like painted. I think it's a mask actually, it's partial mask and partial like practical makeup, and it's kind of got that skeleton look, but also there's like these geometric aspects to it. So I was thinking she's in the future. So I wanted to bring like with those discs and some of that stuff is like more like it's like more like futuristic or like geometric in design. And then there's this organic part of her as well. So I think there's kind of a good balance of those things, going on with the character where she's high tech, but she's also very like rooted in just kind of the organic or the natural world, I guess, because that's where she gets her magic or powers from.
Yeah, I can see that. Sai, what was that character that I had you look up when we were talking about me doing that one cosplay? Where that girl was, she's like a normal person and then she turns into like a
Enchantress.
demonic princess. Enchantress.
Oh, Enchantress, yeah.
So that's, for whatever reason, Juju, in my mind, hits Enchantress vibes. Like, the way that a transformation would work, or the way that, like, her power would manifest. For me, it just hits Enchantress. Because Enchantress is gorgeous and terrifying. And it's like everything that happened, especially in the movie, everything that happened for her was so creepy, and like the black tendrils, and it almost looked like ash, and like things were burning away, and it just felt like, okay, yeah, this is the big bad. Like, this is not a good thing that is happening.
Yeah. So we never really have to fully explain, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a scene where she pulls the mask off or something like that.
Yeah.
It's all just kind of this magic thing that happens, and it transforms her. So you get the great visual, and then she comes out, different than she started. Yeah, I like that. I'll do that.
I think it'd be cool.
That's how we'll do it.
Yeah, hell yeah! Look at that. We are influencing comics here at Valkyrie.
With the practical knowledge of actually trying to make the thing happen physically.
Yeah. Look, if you ever want, if any of you out there are creating a character and are trying to figure out practically how something that you're trying to make on them would work, go ask a cosplayer, because we're the ones that look at y'all's crazy ass ideas and go, oh shit, how can I make that a real thing? And it's like, I can't make things levitate, but I could potentially mimic levitation with all of these other things. Like, it's this right now, the top, just to let you know, Art, the top is Warbler, which is a thermoplastic. So I had to heat and shape thermoplastic. And then I have a thick gauge wire that goes all the way around and loops around to the sides and is pushing everything in.
Pushes together, yeah.
And then I have all of foam to help hide the wire, and then it's covered over with fabric. So there is so much happening.
Boob sandwich.
With this
That's
top.
what she's saying. Boob sandwich.
Yes. To keep it all together. And then on top of that, I still have to add all of the fur because this is temporary, and all of that kind of stuff to really like elevate it up. But it was one of those.
Dennis gets it. Gorgeous, but horrifying. Yeah, that's definitely the character. Yeah.
I love her. I think she's amazing. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about like what we're getting in Sins of the Father?
Well, I'll explain the origin of Juju first. I mean, since it's kind of long form stuff. Juju was a character that came out in the 1995 run. So in 94, the original 3 issues came out. That was 30 years ago in October, this past October, that we put out the original series. And so then we were preparing to do it ongoing. So the following year, I inventoried, my wife and I inventoried a bunch of stories. And we had 3 issues in the can. And Juju and this Lord Faken were going to be the 2 big bads in the story going forward. So the market crashed. We got the first issue out. It was called Codename Black and White. That was the ongoing title.
Mm-hmm.
We never put out any of the other books. So we always wanted to continue with, and finish the storyline. And Pamela came up with a Juju character. I think she's absolutely fantastic. But she didn't look anything really like this version. So over the years, I was kind of like, well, I want to be more, it's weird because when we came up with the original Black and White, we were kind of also thinking like we would make this stuff where it was more grounded. Our idea was like, well, we could sell it to Hollywood easily or more easily because they're more grounded characters. So Juju wasn't that far out. I mean, by comic standards, she's still pretty far out, but not like she is now. And I think just all the influences over the years got us to this point. So she was always part of the story. So if you picked up that first issue of Codename Black and White, she's in it. She doesn't look like she does now, but she is in it. And so we're kind of we're kind of making her where she's kind of the right hand person to this Lord Fagin. So Lord Fagin is an immortal, and he's been cursed, so he can't leave his castle. So he's been kind of trapped in there for centuries. And so then she can kind of go out in the real world and do his bidding. So that's kind of the dynamic of the relationship, but she's going to be way, way more than that in the story. So I don't want to give too much away, but she's going to be a major player in the Black and White mythology moving forward.
It's almost like you created her to be like, so she's the henchman or like the secretary of the big bad, because she's the one that goes out and like can get stuff done. But it's almost like she goes out and she's like, I can just handle this shit. Like, I'm just going to do this real quick. It'll be fine. He'll be happy when I come back. It's like not a problem. And she just like, screw it. I'm just going to do my own thing. And then I'll come back. And
how many times have you seen these movies, right? And you're like the big bad is the big bad just because they say this person's the big bad, right?
Yep.
But the henchman is way more powerful than the big bad. Absolutely. And so then you're like, why would this person listen to this other person? You know what I mean? So it's kind of that dynamic where you start realizing that it seems one way, the dynamic, but it really isn't that way. And also the new Black and White stories that we're telling are in like a not so distant future. So I never wanted to go, well, this is 2020 or this is 2030 or 2035 or something like that kind of future. I wanted to do the George Lucas, like where he says, in a galaxy far, far away. So he never says it's Earth. He never says it's our universe. He never calls them Earthlings or anything like that. So they're kind of their own thing. And I always like that because it becomes timeless. Because you can't really relate it. You can relate it to like, oh, that guy looks like he's human, but there's no Earth in those stories.
Right.
There's none of that. And so I kind of wanted to do that with Black and White, where it's a future, but just a completely arbitrary made up future, right? So it's not like I went, okay, 2024, let's project what it's going to be like in 10 years. I didn't do that because to me, that's not a lot of fun. I like to use my imagination, just go crazy, right? So it's going to be whatever made up stuff I want to do. So Juju in the new stuff, in the new story, she's kind of a technomancer. So she uses technology to raise the dead. So she has like these supernatural powers, but to make it even more bombastic and more powerful, she can filter them through this technology. So I'm thinking like that she has some kind of like spike, like this technology, the spike that she'll put in, she can plant in a cemetery, right? And then she can channel her energy through that. It goes into the earth, and then that's like she can raise like more than one at one time. Like she could raise an army. She could raise the entire cemetery worth of dead if she wanted to within like that one movement. As long as she has that technology, she can do it without the technology, but she can't do as much damage. You know what I mean? Like she can do some crazy ass damage. And so one of the things, this is really, I take from all over the place, since I was a kid. But there's this movie called Bedknobs and Broomsticks. It's a Disney.
I remember it.
I loved that. Oh my gosh.
And it's, I would love to see it redone with like better effects.
Wasn't that Angela Lansbury?
Yeah, but they raise the dead. Like there's these armored warriors.
I still remember the chant that she had to do for the spell to raise them. Yeah.
What was it?
Something.
Sadist D.
Sadist D. Yeah.
Yeah, so she raises all these, but they're all from like different like timelines. Like there's all these different type of warriors, and so that's like you can kind of see it in this image where there's these, they all have different kind of armor. They're all from different time periods, things like that. And that's the hardest part was like, how do I explain this? But I do have an explanation for it. I don't want to get too in detail with it because I do want you guys to read the book and be surprised by it. But that's where that came from because I just thought that was pretty cool. I don't think they're skeletal, right? In that movie, they're just just open, right? So there's just like floating
and
armor.
it was like empty armor, exactly.
Right, because they didn't want to be too ghoulish.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't want to be too ghoulish with skeletons and stuff. But then there was like the Sinbad stuff, the Harryhausen. I know you guys are a lot younger than I am, but there was the Ray Harryhausen, Ray Harryhausen, like Sinbad, movies. And I know you guys have seen this, the classic skeletal warriors, where they got the shields and they have the swords, they're fighting Sinbad and stuff. Yeah, so I want to do stuff like that as well. So it's going to be freaking epic, man. It's going to be magic. It's going to be high tech. We're still going to have robots in the story, you guys, so don't worry about that. But it's going to be everything just thrown into one. Because also what I wanted to do with Black and White is, I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry, you guys.
No, you're fine.
But it's like the Marvel universe or DC universe where there's supernatural characters, there's super powered characters, there's vigilante characters, there's all these characters that exist in that universe. So I never wanted to limit like Black and White to just one thing or the other. So there's all these elements. And if you were paying attention to Black and White volumes 1 and 2, there are supernatural aspects to that story. So, those elements were always there from the beginning of this new version. The original version is not.
That's really cool. And, so one of the things that you were talking about is like having her like put a spike down and then channeling power through that. It reminded me a lot of like how they call the sandworms in Dune. Like the little thing that goes down.
The thumpers.
Yeah.
That's where I got it from. Yeah.
See, and that's the thing is I love that you have all these like little tiny bits, and I'm like, that's like this thing that I know, and this is like that thing that I know, and like, but they're done in a different way and to a different end, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, and I'm never really that conscious of it when I'm doing it, but then later you start thinking like, oh, that's probably where I got it from here. I got it from,
You're like, wait a second. I did see that.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, she'll also filter, like she'll have external energy powers, like what you were saying, like the Enchantress and stuff. So she'll literally have energy coming off of her, and then it will filter into, oh, there they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember that as a kid. Oh.
I brought up the scene and I was playing it, and I'm like, I better not play this on stream because there are Nazis all over the scene. So
that's what they do. They battle the Nazis. It's pretty epic. Yeah.
Oh, we did have a question. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. So Dennis wants to know: is there more than one way to get the Juju print?
There's actually 2 Juju prints, and they're in different campaigns. So I still have the Oodles of Doodles and other stuff 2 campaign. And there's the 11x17 print in that. That's the commemorative print. So it's got the 30th anniversary of Black and White, and then it's got her name in there. So there's that version, and then there's the new version that's in the Jam. And the only place you can get it is in the Jam. And that's a full bleed all the way to the end. So the image will be bigger in that. So let me see in Oodles if you can get it. I don't think you can get it separate. It still might be in the Jam print. It's in the Jam. Let me see if there's another tier that it's in. Oh yeah. You can get the Oodles book and the Juju print for $65.
Nice.
So that's less than the Jam versions. So you can get that print, and one of the things I wanted to do, and the reason I don't offer it separately, is because the prints are expensive to ship. I have to use a different box and stuff. So if I was just offering the print, the shipping would be really expensive. So it makes more sense to have it bundled with a lot of other things, because then it becomes more. The shipping.
You can soak the cost.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's kind of the idea with the prints. We always ship the prints. We used to roll them up, but now we ship them flat, because rolling up has its own set of problems.
It does. It does, especially when you have people that'll roll it really tight, and then they put it in and it unrolls, and then you can't get it back out without damaging it. That is one of the most frustrating things.
So what I like to do, even with rare things, is just lick my thumb and then, grab a hold of the edge and retighten it inside the tube and then pull it out. Usually as hard and as quickly as possible. Shae really enjoys it when I do that with our backings.
Yeah.
And that can work if the tube isn't too big, because sometimes it'll. Well, I guess if both ends open up, you can kind of like push it down to one end, and then you can roll it and then slide it out. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Honestly, the best way, if you're ever going to package something into a tube, is to still put it in a sleeve, and then when you roll it into the tube, there's already something that someone can grab onto that
like
isn't
the
going to
plastic
damage.
poster tube, like when you buy posters at Walmart or whatever.
Maybe. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like anything like where you can put it into that little plastic, like, bag thing and then roll that and put it in. It makes it easier
because
to get back out,
we had a campaign, a second chance for black and white, and we had like these oversized prints. They were gorgeous, but what was happening is they were sliding in the tube, so the ends were getting dinged up. Yeah. So that idea that you have also works for that, because the paper is slightly oversized, bigger than the print. Then if it moves back and forth, it'll fold up the paper and not the print.
Yeah, I do agree though. Like, my favorite way to ship prints of any kind is to put it in a top loader and put that in a bubble mailer, because then it's like it's very difficult for that to get ruined. It doesn't mean that it can't, because there's plenty of people that are terrible at shipping that will fold that crap in half, but it's a lot harder to do, and it's easier for them to just put it off to the side rather than try to shove it into like a box or something, and so they're usually not going to get as damaged.
Right, and make sure the box is slightly bigger than the print, because if the box gets dinged, then it's going to ding the print as well.
Yeah. So this is crazy. Like, looking at your covers they always are super gorgeous, but these ones are just really kind of holy shit, like next level. And Art, I have stared at your cover art plenty of times, because in making those shirts, there was a lot of like, let me focus on all the little details to figure out what we're going to do. Looking at this, I'm like, thank God I'm not making shirts for you again, because I don't know how I would isolate a single thing in here. It's too insane. Like, you would just need the whole thing would have to be on the front.
Exactly.
Because it's just there's too much to see, and it's all so gorgeous.
Thank you. Those t-shirts were so awesome. This is the part of like the creative part of life that I hate, is like we were super ambitious with those t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
We were like, oh my gosh, these are going to be so cool. I've never seen anything like it and stuff. And usually, creatively, when you say I've never seen anything like this,
there's a reason.
That means that it's going to be super hard to do.
Yeah.
And so the idea is we're going to have this thing wrap around one side. Oh my gosh, such a cool idea. And all your graphic work, Shae, was perfect. It was just the technical aspects that they couldn't make it work.
Right.
And I was thinking, like, there's it's got to be an easy way. Like, because I was thinking, like, what if you sewed it from where they connect and then moved out from there? Because it only connects from one side. And then it's like, well, that's not the way we make the shirts.
Well, and it was so crazy because they're like, well, because we sew them by hand, it's not machine stitch. We can't guarantee. And I was like, no. You don't understand. If you sew it by hand, that's more of a guarantee that you can meet them up as opposed to a machine that is just matching it. And I was like, so I don't understand your logic in using that as a justification for why you can't do something that you should be able to do.
Right.
But,
because if you work from the outside to where they connect, there's always going to be overlap or like a space. But if you work from where they connect out.
Well, but the problem that they have is they print them on a bolt. Completely flat, and then they sew them together. So no matter what, they're always going to be matching up those things, and they're never going to take the time to match them up, despite the fact that we were even willing to pay them more if they did.
Right. But I love the shirts that we came up with. I think they're great, and we'll do something else in the future. I mean, you were so patient, and I do really appreciate your
tenacity. Yeah, there was. I was getting to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go to China and like smack somebody in the face. Is like what's about to happen.
Yeah, you mean the guy you were contacting, John? Wink, wink.
Right. I was like, bro.
I still remember that name because there is no fucking way that was a John.
Yeah, it was terrible. But and honestly, I'm just glad that we came up with a good solution, that you liked them. Everybody that got shirts that like has said anything to me about it has only talked about how great they were. So that makes me so happy. And
no more 12Xs on future campaigns, please.
There's some new stuff that they're doing now that would be super, super cool. You and I will talk because I think that it would be really neat. But
yeah, I would like to do something like that in the future. And also, like, I have patches and I have some of those die cut stickers. So maybe we can figure out something to do with it.
Absolutely.
And it's a 30th anniversary.
I've already got an idea in my head, actually, right now as we're talking, that I'm going to tell you when we're not live, because
incorporate it somehow. I think that would be really cool. And so you guys, I know that this year is the 30th anniversary, but this is going to be in demand for at least a year. So we're going to celebrate the hell out of this campaign for the whole year. So, I'm going to be talking with Shae. So we're going to be probably bringing other things in to the campaign as we go forward. And also, I've been talking to a sculptor. And so we may be doing 30th anniversary commemorative sculpts for the characters.
Very, very cool. And there's so many things that you could do with this. I was so excited when I saw that you have your 30th, and then she also had its 30th. I was like, this is so crazy, because I love both of these. And the fact that you both are having them at the same time, I'm like, oh, I just want to be a part of it. It's so cool.
Unhinged got an eco shirt. Thank you so much, Unhinged.
Yes. I think that's the one shirt I don't like. I have almost all of these freaking indie comic. I have everybody's. I think I don't have an Inko shirt, and I keep meaning to buy one.
So, unless you watched last night's stream, you probably won't understand what he's saying. But.
Thank you, some person. I did figure out the boobs.
And I agree. Shae's tits always look professional.
Look, I'm just saying, if you want a really funny 4-ish hour stream to go and check out, watch me try to figure out this top, because there was a lot of heating stuff up and groping a mannequin.
Yes.
And then
constantly
moving away and going, well, that's not right.
Covering all the other mannequins' bits so that YouTube didn't fuck us for showing naked titty.
So I have a bunch of mannequins. Like, I have dress forms and mannequins downstairs, but my mannequins are like mannequins you'd see in a store. And so I had to put a G-string on her so YouTube wouldn't freak out.
Mm-hmm. And pasties.
I had to put X's over her non-existent nipples just to make sure YouTube wasn't going to freak out.
Hey, the nipples were there. They just weren't colored, so...
Well, then she'll look like something like, what was that? Oh my gosh. That crazy woman that had the chainsaw that would chop up televisions in the 80s. She was a singer. Oh my gosh, what was her name? But I think she was the first one I saw that had like electrician's tape over her nipples. Like, she'd just be bare, You know, and then there was that
That's-
missing person singer that had like the mixing bowls.
Wendy O. Williams.
That was it. Yes, Wendy
That's what
O'Williams.
Eric said.
Yeah,
Thank you, Eric, for knowing, because I had no idea.
you the crazy. You know what?
I will say, out of all the tape that you can put on your body, electrical tape is some of the nicest to it, but it's also some of the least secure. So
Yeah, electrician's tape doesn't have much sticking power.
no, especially not once it's introduced to any kind of oils like what is naturally produced from your skin. So I wouldn't trust it. But
And don't use
more power to
gaffer's
you.
tape. You'll lose a
Don't
nipple.
use gaffer's tape. Oh, don't use gaffer's tape. That'll rip off a layer of skin.
Don't be
This is
doing
gorgeous.
that.
This C cover I absolutely adore, but I love it because white, aside from being stacked, like obviously she's beautiful as she's stacked there, she's got like them hips. I love the fact that she's not like a tiny little twig. It's like, oh, she may have the big jugs, but like she's also got like the apple bottom that makes sense for them. And so it just looks so, it looks so good.
Yeah, that's Carlo Barberi. So he's my buddy, my DC buddy. We worked on Super Sons together at DC, and I do believe he's drawing Spawn right now.
Oh, very cool. I just unpacked all my Spawn figures. Like I haven't seen them in decades, and I finally unpacked them and was like, I remember how cool these are. Like, put them all
I
up.
don't know if you guys are gonna think this is cool or not, but when I moved, I had a studio when I lived in Orange County, and so we got rid of the studio. And I was bringing everything back home, and so instead of doing that, I gave away a bunch of stuff. So I had like all the first year Spawn toys.
Oh.
I had the Acura stuff, the bike, and the two characters.
Wow.
And then I had the Danger Girl stuff. I had just a bunch of those toys, and so I just gave them away to kids that were in that business area. Just giving them
Wow.
away because I didn't want to bring them home. I didn't want to carry them home.
They made out like bandits. Oh my
I
god.
don't think they know what they. I think that stuff's vintage and it might be worth something. You know?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the covers are gorgeous. I like the B and the C cover probably the most. The B cover because I just like Juju's energy where she's like squatting over this like pile of them. She's like, these are mine. Like I did this. It's like, shit, okay. And then obviously it's just classic seeing the two of them.
Yeah,
in
there
that kind
were
of
3 versions of that with different color backgrounds, and then when I saw the white, I was like, gotta do the white because also when you do multiple covers on a campaign, you want each one to kind of have its own identity.
Yeah.
And so I thought that one really stood out, and out of all of the designs so far, I think it would make the best T-shirt too.
I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at that going, that would be such an awesome
Yeah,
t-shirt.
even though I didn't draw it, I did ink it, but I didn't draw it. But I think.
I
it'd make a
mean,
great shirt.
it's okay. It's okay because it's still your character, so it's still you.
It's still you.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. All right. So, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, honestly, Art, that would be like a perfect T-shirt.
Yeah, it'd be a
Cool.
cool die cut too, like a sticker.
Oh heck yeah, yeah.
Because you
that'd
could
be-
die cut the little geometric shapes behind them.
Oh yeah, you definitely could, and that would be super super cool, especially if you did it so it was a clear background. So even though, like die cutting in here is kind of pointless because it's not gonna help, but if you made it so it was on a clear background, then anything that anyone puts it on, it'll
You see
still
through
have
it.
that same. Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. So that
Oh, yeah.
that middle white area,
Yeah.
you could make it transparent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you could for there's certain places that'll do it where they'll do like the transparent outside and they'll do the transparent background, so you can say like all of these areas I don't want them to be white, I want them to be transparent.
Yeah, any place that'll do decals too. So
Yep.
because those are clear.
sweet! I'm writing it down.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you have original artwork that's available.
Excuse me, Shae.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Thank you very much, Cricket Painter, for the $10. And he says, "Is it time for the new segment, Jumping Jacks with Shae?"
That would probably stand up to it, but still.
I'm gonna say this is the most solid. It's also thermoplastic, so like it is plastic that is shaped around me, so it's not going anywhere. But I'm still not doing jumping jacks in this because I don't know how. I haven't tested it, so I'm not doing it live.
Shae, we can do it downstairs and film it, and if everything works out great, then you can choose what to do with the video, and if not, then I keep the video, and that's fine.
You know what? Leave it up to people's imaginations.
I'm okay with that. You guys imagine what it's like with me doing jumping jacks in this, because I guarantee you're going to imagine something way better than what the reality is going to be. The reality is not going to be as much fun as you think it is. So just go wild with your imaginations.
So Down Go Solo had a question, and I actually think I can answer it because it was in the campaign. When's Cover D going to be available? According to the campaign, it says at the halfway point.
Yeah, about the halfway point. I saw the sketch for it. It's absolutely fantastic. When I tell you who this guy is, you guys are going to lose your mind. So it's going to be pretty amazing. And we will do it as an add-on, and it will have its own tier. I'm not sure if it'll be bundled with anything, but it will be its own tier. And as an add-on.
That, to my math, if this is Indiegogo with a 60-day campaign, that means 18 days from now, which would be December 11th. Wednesday, December 11th, or thereabouts.
Sounds about right.
There you go.
There you go. So you got that to look forward to. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and whoever this person is, I'm gonna be inking them.
Oh, nice.
It'll be a cool jam. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Which also means there's going to be an original. There's going to be original to get to you guys as well.
I love that you ink so many of the things when somebody does something for you and they give you like the pencils and you go over and ink it, because your style, especially when it comes to, I mean, granted, like these are your precious characters, right? Like these are your babies, but you always ink in such a way that you emphasize all of the really, really cool shit very well and delineate it from everything else that's happening without it looking like you had to do like a white rim around it and so it would stand out or something. Like it is. It's fine, Alex. I know you do that for a lot of things, but it's, I'm just saying art is a pro. So he does better.
No, I was actually taking it.
I
was taking it to a weird sex place, and then you said that I'm an expert at doing that to a lot of things, so that's okay.
I can't with you.
No, you can't. Not at all.
But no, I love your ink work, and I think it's super cool. So I'm excited that you're inking over whoever this other artist is. I think it's going to be really cool to see.
Well, I have something to show if you want to share.
Yeah.
See if I can go back. Let me see if I can go. Cool. There we go. All right, I'm going to share. Here we go. Present. Screen share, and window. Boom. Okay, there we go. It's up. Okay, this is kind of what we're talking about. So these are the breakdowns that I'm getting. Ooh. And so then here you can see what the finish looks like.
Yeah. I really, really like the mask. I really like the mask.
So, yeah,
I think that it adds a lot.
So we got that. And so you can kind of see the difference between the breakdown pencils and the inks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of redrawing. Like you can see her face here. It's not exactly the same as the face that I reworked, and then this face here is different. So it's kind of like not only putting it more on the model of what the character looks like, but also my style. So I'm kind of like taking this and then kind of putting it on model and then making it look more like I drew it, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the changes that you've made are the best changes for them. I think that it adds to the drama and the impact of what's happening, instead of it being like, especially that one where her mouth is like dropped open and her head's thrown back, like screaming, like mid cry kind of thing, is like it's more impactful than that looks like she died. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like she got like headshotted and died, as opposed to what you have where she's like screaming and looks like, okay, that probably didn't take her out, and she's probably really pissed now. So, like, I don't know what you're gonna do, dude, but you might want to run.
Yeah, and he can't see the face, so we don't have to convince the reader will know because the next panel, but we don't have to show it because the guy shoots. He doesn't have to be convinced that she's dead or that it was a kill shot or not, because he can't see it either way. So then, then we have this, which I took it's in the script where she kind of picks back up, and then he witnesses it, and then you see kind of the payoff where you see the bullet wound in the forehead, and I just thought it was like it kind of took away some of the visceralness of it, getting shot and then just like the Stark, like it didn't do anything, it didn't kill me, and then like you said, like the next page is like, you better run, dude, it's not going to end well for you.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is you see this and it's like, shit, you're screwed, man. Like, I would not want this to be looking back at me and be like, I'm the reason that there's that bullet hole. Be like, cool, I'm gonna die now. Like, this is how I die.
Yeah, and I took some liberties, like actually these little circles are my redraw, but he's drawn the whole eye in, and I think it's more mysterious and it's a little scarier if there's these like little orbs that kind of glow. You know what I mean? Versus actual eyes.
Yeah, and that's actually something that I have a plan to do for this. So I will have like an actual like pinpoint of light if I can pull it off, and I think I can.
Ah, awesome. Do it like the Jawas in Star Wars where they have those like little glowing eyes.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I feel like there's so much, you just bring so much energy and emotion with your inks, and I love it. I love seeing it.
Oh, thanks. And then you guys can get an idea to see the guns in the shots. Like they're more like futuristic. Like he originally drew the gun. It's like, was that like a Beretta or something?
Yeah.
So they're more like kind of high tech, more futuristic. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show off some stuff, give your audience.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I think that if all of this didn't already entice them, what you are just showed us, like, that should have solidified it. If you didn't know if you were going to back this or not, now you know what it's going to look like. So you might as well just back it now, because you know that you're going to. So just do it now.
Just do it.
And do it right now, damn it.
Come on, man, do it. And the thing is, we're 23 pages into the pencils and inks. We have 3 pages colored. He has more in his hot little hands, so we'll get those pretty soon. So the campaign is about a third of the way done as far as pencils and inks. The writing is completely done with script and everything, dialogue. So the book is in good shape right now, and I have been able to cut out or carve out some time every day to work on the book. So usually when you're in campaign mode, you don't have a lot of time to work on the book, but I'm really making sure that I have that, because also what I want to do is I want to feed everybody stuff. So I want everybody working at the same time. So the campaign I did before, I kind of like compartmentalized everything and kind of like, I'm going to work on this, get it done, work on this, get it done, and so on and so forth. So now what I'm doing is I'm just everything all the time, like colorist working, penciler's working, inks. Got 2 books in this campaign, so I got Pedro Eng working on High Octane 2. So he's
Yeah.
probably, I think he's close to 8 pages or so into it. There it is. The whole script is written, and so that thing's coming along too. So 8 pages. It's a 22-page story. So I mean, he's closing in on half the book already.
Yeah, more than a
Uh,
third of the way there. That's awesome.
yeah, so these books are in pretty good shape. We're only into the second week of the live campaign,
Hmm.
so far I think we're in really really good shape. Knock on wood, and hopefully we can continue the pace and make sure we get the thing done. A little quicker than the last campaign. At least that's the goal at this point in time.
That's awesome. I'm super excited. So we've talked a lot and like seen the art and everything. I want to make sure. Oh, I love this so much. I want to make sure that we go over your tiers, and so people know what they're getting in each one, because there's so much cool stuff you can get. I know that I spent a good amount of time before I finally got my backing, because I was like, what exactly do I want, and what do I have room for? Because I was like, I want everything. I don't have room or wall space anymore, so I now need to like compartmentalize what I get. But let's start right with your featured perk.
Okay, so the featured perk. I also want to, at some point I want to play the video, because the video freaking rocks. So
The trailer?
yeah, the trailer.
We're closing
Yeah.
out with that.
Oh, okay, cool. So the featured is it's all the books in this campaign. So it's the A main cover, B cover, and C cover, plus the High Octane 2 adventures. So you get all that, and all these books come signed by myself and Pamela. Pamela is my wife, and we created these characters together in '94. And so she knows these characters just as well as I do, and all the dialogue usually filters through her. I plot it out. I do, she is a sounding board for sure, but as far as plotting, she's not that involved. But as far as dialogue, she just nails it, because she understands these characters, how they talk, and all that other stuff. So if you notice, like, there's a consistency through all the black and white stuff, and it's always because of her. So it's the voice that she gives these characters. So then the next tier is the High Octane Adventures, and this is the second one. So we had book 1 was in the what was it, volume 2 campaign, the Man versus Machine campaign, and so that went really really well, and you guys seemed to like it, and I ran it by Pedro, and I said, would you be willing to do another one for this campaign? He said, hell yeah. So Pedro's back. He's doing pencils, inks, and colors, but he and I are also writing this, where we had Von Klaus write the first one. I came up with a basic plot idea. We did a creative powwow session, and he just put this thing together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Think kind of Gremlins-ish. So there's kind of a Gremlins aspect to it. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but there is a Gremlins aspect to the story. And so then we have the main book, which is the A cover, and so that's 25. And then we have the B cover, which is 25 as well. But I'll tell you, we have 29 backers for the A cover. We have 50 backers for the B cover. So the B cover is way stepping out in the forefront as far as what you guys want. So that's always cool. And then we have 13 claimed for the C cover, and that's the Carlo Barberi cover with my inks and Brian A. Mag doing the color work. He'll be doing the interiors as well. He's really, really good. And so then we have High Octane 1 and 2, These are very limited, you guys. So if you want to get that first high octane adventure story, get in quickly because we did overprint, but there's not a lot of them. So we only have 100 available here. And then we have you guys actually in the chat asked for this one, and I'm so glad you did because it's one of those things like I can't believe I overlooked it, but it's the main book and the High Octane 2 book. So it's a combo pack, and yeah, you guys are really responding to this very, very well. So I do appreciate that. It's only $40, and also the High Octane is $15. It's not $25. So we still have a couple of these early birds. So early bird 1, 2, and 3. So you can get issue 1, 2, and 3, and you get a $10 discount. So we got 9 left. So there's only 9 more of these early birds left. And then we have the normal tier, which is 1, 2, and 3. And then, of course, we have the jam. You grab them all. So the jam comes with every book that we've talked about so far, plus that Juju print. So you can only get that Juju print with the jam tier. And then, of course, we have a bunch of original artwork, so you can get all the covers and things like that, except for the B cover. The B cover has been sold.
Nice. Dennis, thank you very much for the £6. It says, Shae, amazing cosplay. Where will you publish the whole attire? I will have it on Instagram, Twitter, and I will probably have it over on my channel by Gaslight when it's finally done. I've already started filming like the process so far. I do want to continue and make it a full-on build video, so I'll make sure to put it all up there too. And then, Art, roughly when is Oodles of Doodles shipping?
It is at the printers right now.
Awesome.
They're going to ship it out December 6th. It was supposed to, we were supposed to have it by now, but you guys, make me full screen if you can, please.
Yep. Oh, wow. Look at that.
So these are the prints, and you can see the metallic.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot of work, a lot of extra money, but this trim right here is gold.
That is gorgeous.
And it's embossed, so it's 3-dimensional. And so we got the Mary Jane print. We got all of them today, but we got the pit as well. So you can see how the metallic
cool
picks up in the light.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. I love it.
So yeah, so we got the prints in, you guys. So those are in, and also keep me. We got the proofs. So the proofs for the book are here,
Yes.
and so I signed off on it. Everything looks good. We got a pencil section here, pencils and roughs. We got this Killer Vader.
That is so cool.
Back.
No pun intended. Killer Vader.
Killer Vader. And so then we have an alternate version of the Whitney song White Suit. And then I love the back. So we got Kevin Nolan's quote. And Kevin Nolan and I did a Batman jam at a convention. So I put that on the back along with Inko. And so we got the quote right here. So
cool.
It looks really, really cool. Here we go. We got some Comicsgate characters. We got John Mayland's Lilith from Graveyard Shift. We have Cyberfrog. We got an old school Gigantor penciled by Mike Mignola with my inks and ink
Very
wash.
cool.
It came out really cool. And then part of the pencils and roughs. So there's a lot of stuff in this book that you'll never see. So like
Yeah,
the
that is
pencils and
gorgeous.
roughs, those are all behind the scenes images. So my daughter did the rough for this, penciled the rough, my daughter Amanda, and so then I did the finished pencils and then the inks over this. So this was a cover, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for what was it, Lady Death. uh, Brian Polito's book.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's going to be all kinds of stuff, cool stuff with oodles and doodles and other
Hell
stuff too. It's still in demand, you
yeah.
guys, if you want to pick it up. So
Dennis says, so glad I backed it. Yeah,
it's got both
there's
prints,
so
you guys.
much.
Yeah, there's a lot of reflective light and stuff on it when I hold it up. But man,
Hmm.
these came out so good.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're the A and B tier, or A and B print tier, and you can pick those up on that Oodles stand.
Oh, that is awesome. I absolutely love both of the campaigns that you have going right now, and I'm so happy that we could get you on for this because this is what looks to be an incredibly insane story. So I'm very, very excited to see this continue and you know where it's going to end up going. And the Oodles of Doodles campaign looks just like so much fun, and I love seeing everybody's like kind of process and like what they've done over the years and just seeing the body of work, because it's really easy to get tunnel vision, and like we all tend to do it where you only remember the like last two things that you've done and like the things that you have on your plate for the future, and you forget everything that's happened since then until you go back and compile it for something like that, and it's like, man, I've had some cool shit actually. This is really neat. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of like a cool yearbook, where you get to look.
yeah.
And I've been doing this for 40 years, so there's stuff that it doesn't go back that far, but it does go back to like early 90s. So there's some early 90s stuff in there, you guys. So if you're X-Men fan from that timeline, there's some stuff in there for that represents that time as well. So yeah, the Oodles book, it's really cool. It's neat, just also from a creative standpoint to have a book that compiles a lot of the highlights of your career. So personally, I think it's cool as well. And keep in mind, you guys, this is signed and numbered. So there's only 300. We only printed 300. So once they're gone, they're gone. And this is the second printing of the book. The first printing sold out. Yeah, all the prints come signed.
Awesome.
And so where was I? Oh, that version of the book, the original printing. If you look it up, that thing's selling for like $130 for that book. So so these do become collectible, and so get in. I'm not saying it is going to be worth that in time, but they are very, very limited. They're signed and numbered, and so if you get in early, you also get early numbers. I like doodling. You're a really good doodler. I would say you are a doodler. A man.
Jason does great doodles.
Yeah, he's a mad doodler.
So this looks like so much fun. Everybody, please go back both projects, but be sure, especially, that you back this one because you know that you want to see more of Juju and how everything comes in. What was that? I would love to see an Art Thibert hardcover sketchbook on my shelf. I mean, yeah.
Well, if you picked one up, you're going to see it because after the 6th, that's when the books are shipping. We're going into fulfillment mode right after that. So as soon as we get the books, they're going out, and Pamela doesn't mess around. Like everything stops. The world stops rotating when we're in fulfillment mode. She can get that. Oh my gosh, she gets that stuff out so fast. I don't know how she does it, but she just locks onto it. The whole house becomes like fulfillment center. Every table, every countertop is covered with something, and so we are. The reason I have to frame it up this way is because I can't guarantee it, but we are hoping to get this out before Christmas. So if you guys are looking for, if you have a fan in your family, somebody that likes, fine comic book artwork, you can pick this up. And at this point, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't get there before Christmas. But like I said, shit happens, so I can't absolutely guarantee it. But that is the plan. So if you back it now, most likely you'll get it before Christmas.
Hell yeah. Real quick before we wrap, I want to make sure. So we're gonna play the trailer and everything to kind of see us out. Is there anything else that you want people to know before we wrap up the show, Art?
Just you guys, I want to thank each and every one of you. I think, did we get a backer? Where are you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got
Yep,
a
you had
backer.
a backer.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. I do appreciate that. And this is all guerrilla marketing, you guys. So the only way all of us can be here is supporting each other. So if you like this, you like this kind of entertainment, you like Shae's channel, like, subscribe. If you like these books, you like these creative people, support them, because that's the only way we can keep going. So usually what happens with all of us is, like, Shae creates these costumes. These things aren't cheap. You know what I mean? So she'll put, like, super chat money or whatever back into the show. And usually, like, if you're making these books, we're keeping the lights on. We're using the money so we can live and exist. But that other money goes right into the next campaign. So, that's kind of how this stuff is working. And for me, as long as I can keep creating, that's all that matters to me, and as long as you guys are supporting it and enjoying what I do. So I do want to throw it back at you guys and just thank each and every one of you, because like I say, and it's not hyperbole, it's not me over exaggerating or trying to kiss anybody's butt. Literally, we are nothing without you. So these books only exist because of you and your support. So keep it going. Like, subscribe these channels, like Shae's channel, like Red Valkyrie, and also I have a YouTube channel, and support just everybody. And if you can't afford, I mean, things are tight right now, share it out on your social media.
Absolutely.
Share this show out right now on social media. Every little bit helps, and to be honest, it pisses off a lot of people. And I'm not that petty, but there is a side of me that does enjoy seeing some of the mainstream guys, like, how come you guys get to sell your own books? How come you guys have this audience? It's like, well, we built it. A lot of cool people are coming in, supporting it. So I don't know exactly how it happened, but it happened, and I'm very thankful that it did. So yeah, it's all you guys.
So before we go, we have a request from Unhinged. He wants me to ask the tree question. So, Art, I believe I've asked you this before, but we're going to go at it again. If you could be any tree, what tree would you be and why?
Is this like a Barbara Walters thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is like
she used to ask questions like
thing.
this, when she would interview. Okay, tree. Well, in Texas, they have beautiful crepe myrtles, and
okay.
I had no idea, because I always thought they were just like small, decorative little tree shrubs. Oh no, these things could get 20, 30 feet tall.
Oh wow!
When they erupt in the springtime, summertime, with all those flowers on them, it's crazy. So I think that's my favorite tree right now. But if I could be a tree, I have a badass oak tree. It's about 50 feet tall in my backyard. So I think I'd want to be a badass oak tree.
Nice. And apparently now he wants to know, what dinosaur would you be and why?
I don't know. I would want to. When I was a kid, I always liked the Triceratops, because for some reason they seem like you could have them as pets and you could ride them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think if I could own one, I would want a Triceratops, and I'd have to domesticate it. But I think I would want to be a T-Rex. I just want to be on the top of the food chain.
Guys, I'm not asking anymore if you were. I refuse. That was enough.
Yeah. What did you have for dinner?
Yeah, right.
What's your favorite food?
Well, thank you all so much for hanging out. Please do not go anywhere. We are going to watch this amazing trailer. It is very much worth it, so stick around. Thank you so much, Art, for coming and hanging out with us. We always love having you on. Welcome whenever, and we're definitely going to talk and collaborate, because I got a bunch of ideas that are bouncing around in this noggin now.
Yeah. Well, thanks for all the support, you guys. I do appreciate it. This channel is amazing. And
thank you.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Ring the bell. Leave a comment. All of that really helps the algorithm. We really appreciate it.
Especially comments with replays, please.
Comments help so much. But we will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.